who do you trust more? Do you trust God or do you trust the government? Because if we continue to put trust in the government, we're not going to be here much longer. We're not going to be here much longer. They're going to wipe us off the face of this earth. If y'all not seeing what's going on, if y'all not understanding what's going on, they're poisoning the sky, they're poisoning your water, they're making fake food with no seeds in it, that's not natural, that is not good for your natural body, that's going to make you, it's going to cause some type of deformity in your body, which is going to make you fall ill, so they can put you in that dirt where they planned on putting you in the first place. God told you to be fruitful and multiply. God said a man is made for a woman and a woman is made for a man. What do the government tell you? No, actually, a man can be made for a man and a woman can be made for a woman, even though that does not produce any life, even though that's opposite of nature, even though that will not produce any life. So anything that does not produce life is death. So God has given you life, and the government promotes things that's going to give you death, that's going to eliminate the human race. YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Reggie with the light. Welcome to another episode of Narrowminded, where I come and bring you out of the darkness into the light. In today's episode, I have a question for you guys out there in YouTube land. And my question is, who do you trust? The government or God? Who do you trust? God or the government? Okay? Let me see what God has done for you, right? God has created you from his likeness, from his image, right? God has, given you a place to stay, which is this earth. God has given you resources to survive on this earth. God has given you food. God has given you water. God has given you trees and mud and things like that to create a home to live in. God has given you fruits. God has given you vegetables. God has given you everything. Everything. God has given you a reproductive system where you can create another being in your likeness. God has given you gifts. God has given you talent. God has given you understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. God has given you everything. Every single thing. God has given you air to breathe. God has given you a mind to think. God has given you everything, right? But in today's world, we don't trust God for some reason. We don't trust the Creator. We don't trust the Most High. We trust the government more than we trust the Most High. What has the government done for you? Why do you trust the government so much? Let's see some of the things the government has done. The government spray the sky with chemtrails. The same sky that God has given you, the government sprays it with chemtrails. Having you breathe in, chemicals and creating fake clouds that produce rain. And Lord knows what that does to us once that hits our ground and, our fruits and vegetables soak in that fake chemical produced rain and, God has God has given us fruits and vegetables that have seeds in them that, reproduce more fruits and vegetables. What has the government done? The government has taken the seeds out of the fruits and vegetables. Now you're eating genetically modified food that is not good for your natural body. And then people wonder why they have these weird cancers popping up out of nowhere. People wonder why they are sick. People wonder why they are ill. People wonder why, they have these illnesses, that can't be cured. Right? I mean, these are the things that your government is doing. Your government, God has given you clean, fresh water to drink. What do your government do? Your government puts fluoride in the water. Your government puts fluoride in the water. Right? God told you to be fruitful and multiply. God said a man is made for a woman and a woman is made for a man. What do the government tell you? No, actually, a man can be made for a man and a woman can be made for a woman, even though that does not produce any life, even though that's opposite of nature, even though that will not produce any life. So anything that does not produce life is death. So God has given you life, and the government promotes things that's going to give you death, that's going to eliminate the human race, who the Most High created in his own image. Right? God made you perfectly. God made you perfect with no illnesses, with everything. Of course, due to the original sin of Eve, things are not perfect anymore. But for the most part, 80 to 85% of the time, you're born perfectly. What do the government say? The government says, no, you need these vaccinations soon as you come out your mother's womb. Soon as you come out your mother's womb, you're not perfect. We have to stick you with these vaccinations because, you might fall ill. That's what the government does. Right? That's what the government does. God told you in the Word of God, which is the Holy Bible, that there's going to come a day and time where no man will be able to buy or sell without getting the mark of the beast. That day and time is here, and you guys still went out there and got the mark of the beast. So obviously you do not trust God. Obviously you trust the government more than you trust God. Obviously God does not know what he created. God is not, God does not know how the human body works. See, God told you to take care of your temple. God told you that gluttony is bad. God told you these things. But what the government do? The government make fast food restaurants. So God told you to eat foods that are healthy for you. When he say your body is a temple and you need to take care of your temple, because your body is what houses your soul. So if you're, whatever you take within your body is affecting your soul. And what the government do? The government says it's okay to sell soda. It's okay for you to drink soda. And what does soda have in it? Phosphoric acid, high fructose corn syrup, citric acid, bisphenol, whoever knows what that is, sodium benzoate, or benzoate, whatever that is, caramel color and artificial dyes, caffeine. Like, these are the things that the government tells you is okay for you to take into your temple. But God told you don't do that, because I created you. I know how your temple, what's good for your temple, right? God said, I got the herbs and the herbs and vegetables and things that are natural to heal your body. You ever heard of holistic doctors that use natural things to heal your body? One of the best ones was the late great Dr. Sebi, and we all know what happened to him. He somehow died or was murdered or whatever, poisoned. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't continue to live and give out this information, because that would tear down these pharmaceutical big pharma companies. Because what they want to do is they want to poison you. They want to put poison in your body and say that it's healing you when it's destroying you. That's why when every time you see these commercials, these new medicine commercials, they got all these other side effects. It's gonna fix this problem, but it's gonna give you 20 other problems. See, that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all trust the government. Y'all trust the FDA. Y'all trust the CDC. The FDA tells you that cigarettes is okay for you to smoke. They are the ones who regulate all these things. You can't sell anything without the FDA approval. And this is who y'all trust. The people that said it's okay to smoke cigarettes. Something that is known to give people cancer, give people terrible diseases, even affects the people who don't even smoke, the secondhand smoke, but they still are allowed to sell it. And this is the organizations y'all trust. Y'all trust the CDC, who originated from the people who did the Tuskegee Project on black people, when they injected them with syphilis to see how it would affect their brains over a long period of time, see how it would deteriorate their body over a long period of time. These are the people y'all trust, these government agencies, instead of trusting God and listening to what God tells you to do with your body. Y'all trust the government when they say, y'all give the government control over your children and tell you that you can't even discipline your own children, because what they want to do is they want your children to come out here in the real world with no discipline. So as soon as your children mess up, guess what they're going to put them in? They're going to lock their ass right up in jail. They're going to lock them up right up in jail, where it's nothing but, if they're a dude, it's nothing going to be but men in jail. If they're a woman, it's nothing going to be but women in jail. What does this do? This helps with depopulation. This also helps with, these rich corporations with cheap labor. See, y'all trust the government when the government is not for you. They never been for you. Even it was a time in the Bible where the children of Israel, which is God's people, God's chosen children, the children of Israel begged for a king to rule over them. And God said, why do you want a king to rule over you when I'm God? You just have to listen to what I tell you to do. I'm the one who's ruling over you. I'm the one who created you. I'm the one who gave you this life. I'm the one who gave you this world. I'm the one who did these things for you. But you want a man who has so many flaws, who is imperfect, to rule over you. And this is the situation that we find ourselves in. See, God gave you the resources. He gave you the resources to live, to work the land and provide for yourself. But no, you wanted to put the resources that God gave you in the hands of the government So now they can control you. Now instead of you growing your own food, now you have to go to a grocery store that can tell you, you know, if you don't get such and such, or if you don't wear a mask, you can't come in here and shop. You can't come in here and get no groceries. Better yet, they control how much the food even costs. The only thing you had to do when you had control over your own land before you gave it over to the state was just work the land and grow your own food. But no, now you at the mercy of the government and the powers that be, because you trust the government more than you trust God. And now everybody is running around like a chicken with their head cut off, not knowing what's going to happen next, not knowing what the government is going to throw at you next, not knowing what type of variant is going to come out next. Because you trusted these people with your blood when you go to the hospital and they take your blood and they take it to laboratories and they do tests on it to find out how to destroy you, how to kill you, how to get you off this earth, how to shut down your organs, how to come up with these biochemical diseases. They're pretty much practicing biochemical warfare on their own people. Every government around the world is practicing biochemical warfare on their own people to depopulate this earth. And these are the people that y'all trust. See, y'all mad at people who don't want to get vaccinated, but y'all not mad at the people who's responsible for this biochemical disease getting out into the world anyway. That's who y'all need to be focused on. Y'all need to be focused on finding out who's responsible for creating this virus. Who's responsible? Where did it come from? How did it pop up out of nowhere? But you know why you're not mad? Because guess what? You gave your power and your control over to the government. They control the media. They control the news. So what the news do is spin it and try to make it seem like it's the people who are unvaccinated. It's their fault. They're the reason why we're going through this. But at the same time, they tell you it don't matter if you do get vaccinated, you can still get the virus. and people are really out there mad at unvaccinated people. Like they don't even, they skip over that part completely. They don't even, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all trust the government more than you trust God. Even when you go to court, what they make you do? Put your hand on the Bible. So even this crooked government that you trust so much with your life, when you get in that courtroom, what they make you do? Put your hand on that Bible. But no, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't open that Bible and read it. You can't do that because you're so entrenched into this satanic world. You're so entrenched into you know, these things in the world that you will feel so guilty. You can't do it because you don't want to change. You don't want to trust God. You want to continue to live the life that you want to live without listening to your conscience. See, that's God talking to your conscience. You know, all you women online, you know, pushing P, selling your body for likes, for attention, for validation. You know, for some cash app money, or just you know, there's just the thirst trap people. You know you're wrong because your conscience telling you're wrong. Then you want to be a mother, and if you're gonna do this, don't be a mother. Your kids don't deserve that. Your kids don't deserve to be embarrassed like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, who do you trust more? Do you trust God or do you trust the government? Because if we continue to put trust in the government, we're not going to be here much longer. We're not going to be here much longer. They're going to wipe us off the face of this earth. If y'all not seeing what's going on, if y'all not understanding what's going on, they're poisoning the sky. They're poisoning your water. They're making fake food with no seeds in it. That's not natural. That is not good for your natural body. That's going to make you... It's going to cause some type of deformity in your body, which is going to make you fall ill. so they can put you in that dirt where they planned on putting you in the first place. They're going to continue to, you putting your trust in the government. You gave them all of the natural resources. You gave them the power over over the natural resources that God gave you. So now they can bring the price all the way up. Cause gas prices, okay, gas prices. We complain about the gas prices being so high, but who created gas? Who created the oil? The people who are in charge of the oil and the gas didn't even create it. That's what y'all not understanding. The people who raised the gas prices for you in the oil prices, in the food prices, in buying a home, and pretty much all the natural resources, they didn't even create these natural resources, but they are in control of it because you trusted them more than you trusted God. So now you have to deal with the consequences of your actions, of what you decided to do, of turning away from God and turning towards man for your answers. See, God is in your conscience. God put a built-in judgment in your head, which is called a conscience. But y'all ignore your conscience because the government tell you whatever make you feel good, if it's pleasurable to you, then it's right. If it makes you feel good, then it's right. When you know it's wrong, when you know it's wrong, when you know that it's an abomination. And I'm not here to judge anybody, but listen, I'm just speaking facts. So, the government tell you you can't discipline your children. If you do, we're going to take you to jail. They didn't even create your children. You created your children. Now, I don't believe in beating your children and abusing your children. No, I don't believe in that. But disciplining your children, that's a whole different thing. How you going to tell me what to do with something that I created, that came out of my bowels, that came out of me? You understand what I'm saying? But that's how much control you guys have given the government. The government now has control over what you put in your body. And they're going to continue to take more control. I tried to sign up for a IT course. I couldn't even sign up because I'm not vaccinated. I'm not fully vaccinated. And only fully vaccinated people can sign up for these classes. See how this working? See how they gonna snatch control? See how they gonna snatch more and more control. And if you don't abide by their rules, then you're pretty much going to starve to death because they're gonna cut off all of the resources that they didn't even create. They're gonna take them from you, and they didn't even create these resources. God in the Bible, the Holy Bible, it's laid out on how we supposed to be living. It's right there. It's simple. It's so plain. It's so plain and simple. The animals live how they supposed to live. Every animal live how they supposed to live. They do not deviate away from nature. We as humans are the only ones who are we swear we're so smart, we swear we're so intelligent, but for some reason we deviate away from nature and say, well, I'm going to do it my way. When your way is nothing but a way of death. The wages of sin is death. And then we're wondering why all of this chaos is going on in the world. So you got to understand, God is always in control. Even when we are being judged and punished for being disobedient, he's in control. So the enemy, the devil, aka the government, can't do anything to us without God's permission. But God is allowing this to happen because you guys are, now I ain't gonna say you guys, we all are so disobedient. And we're gonna continue to be disobedient because we're filled with sin. We're filled with sin. We don't have no discipline. We don't know how to control our urges. We don't have to know how to control our lust. We don't know how to control, it's so we're so pleasure. It's like we're fiend out on pleasure. We're fiend out on pleasure. Whether it's eating, sex, whatever. We're fiend out on pleasure. No discipline at all. But anyway, man, that's just a little rant that I wanted to go on. Who do you trust more? Do you trust God or do you trust the government? Do you trust the creator who created you, who know everything about you? Nothing, he sees everything. Or do you trust the government who wants to go against the guy who created you, who wants to eliminate the creation of God, who wants to get rid of the creations of God and replace you with robots? With robots. But anyway, man, if you like this content, like, subscribe, share. It's your boy, Reggie with the Light. Thank you for watching another episode of Narrowminded. I'm out.